Sometimes, to survive, we must become more than we were programmed to be.
Hi, I'm Mr. F and I dig movies. Welcome to Critic Lunch, the show where we hang out and talk about the things we love to watch. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Chris Sanders film, The Wild Robot. But before we do, grab your popcorn and your number 2 pencils, folks. It's time for a pop quiz. Question 1. Amazon is developing a live-action show for Spider-Noir, a character from 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film. Who will play him? Is it A. Timothée Chalamet, B. Chris Pine, C. Nicolas Cage, or D. Al Pacino? Question 2. The Wild Robot is based on a book by Peter Brown. Which character does not appear in the book? Is it A. Longneck the Beaver, B. Thunderbolt the Falcon, C. Pinktail the Possum, or D. Fink the Fox? Question 3. The Wild Robot is Lupita Nyong'o's blank fully animated feature film. Is it her first, her second, her third, or her fourth? And time for the short answer question. What is Brightbill's favorite Halloween movie? Monday's Critic Lunch question was, what do you like better, original or remakes? Our critics have spoken. 82% of them prefer originals, while 18% of them prefer remakes. Popular originals include The Lion King, Scream, Hocus Pocus, and on the other side, some popular remakes are Top Gun Maverick and, ironically, The Lion King as well. Kind of cool to see a film be on both sides of the fence there. While I do enjoy the occasional remake, I definitely enjoy originals more than anything else. Seems like everything these days is either a remake or a sequel. Where's the new stuff? There's nothing like getting that feeling, being pulled into a world you've never been to before, the sense of wonder, the sense of excitement. You can't replicate that in a remake, no matter how well you do it. Tuesday's Critic Lunch question is, what is the best robot ever? Diamond Queen says C-3PO. C-3PO is wicked smart and super cute. Legend A Ironskin is going with Wally, the small trash compactor, while Jake prefers the Decepticons. For me, Roz, the Wild Robot in The Wild Robot, is not my favorite all-time robot. That honor goes to R2-D2. The answer number 1 on the pop quiz. Who will be playing Spider-Noir in Amazon's live-action series? It'll be the same guy who voiced him in the original, Nicolas Cage. Can't wait to see how live-action Spider-Noir is going to look. Wednesday's Critic Lunch topic was, give any character a pet. What pet would that character get, and how would that change the movie? Ra wants to give the Iron Giant a mouse, which could actually be bad news because if it had the mouse, it could get inside, start chewing wires, and could ruin everything the Iron Giant's setting out to do. E2A would give Beatrice from Anyone But You a golden retriever because, well, golden retrievers. And Fat Man would give Aquaman a horse because an underwater horse running around would be just crazy. Now I'm imagining Roz getting a pet in The Wild Robot. Now she does receive a gosling, but that's very different. That's a kid to raise, not a pet. Very important difference. Now if Roz did get a pet, I'd want to give Roz a border collie. Border collies, like Roz, are loyal, protective, but they also do a great job of herding, and I think Roz could use all the goose herding help they can get. Here's your answer to question number 2. What character appears in the movie but not the book? Your answer is Thunderbolt the Falcon, voiced by Ving Rhames. Very cool character. Glad Thunderbolt made the cut for the movie. Thursday's Critic Lunch question is top 3 animated films or shows of all time. Coming in third place is the classic Looney Tunes show. Coming in second place is Coco. And topping the list are the Spider-Verse movies, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. Excellent choices, critics. especially your number one. It's my number one. Now, The Wild Robot's not going to make my top 3 of all time, but here's something that The Wild Robot has in common with my top 3. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has a great parent-child relationship. It's one of the most emotionally moving relationships, and I felt that Roz and Bright Billy Gosling have not a similar relationship, but one that affected me as much while I sat and watched it in the theater. Inside Out is my number 2, and what I love about Inside Out is the unbelievably creative way to show something complicated. Okay? In this case, the brain. In The Wild Robot's case, it's a way to show how families work that's easy to understand for kids, and frankly, families can be pretty confusing even for adults. Now, my number 3 may not be my favorite animated movie of all time, but it came out this year and no one's talking about it, and I would love everyone to see it. It's called Chicken for Linda, and what that film and The Wild Robot have in common is that in Chicken for Linda, every character starts out as a one-note character. Like, they're very simple, they do one thing, they're not, complicated or making you think a whole lot. And I kind of got the feeling that that's how the character is going to be in The Wild Robot at first. But as in Chicken for Linda, every character, every animal, every little critter in this fantastic movie develops into a full, not person obviously, but a full being. And that was a really, really cool thing to see in The Wild Robot and Chicken for Linda. Check that one out. Okay, this is Lupita Nyong'o's blank appearance in a fully animated film. First, second, third, and fourth, it's her first. Hard to believe. Such a great, great job voicing this character. I'm sure she'll be in a lot more in the future. Okay, the last thing we do in Critic Lunch are something called TNT reviews. They're simple to do and they make you sound like the most incredible critic out there. You can do it too. Here's how they work. TNT stands for a take, things you notice from the film, that's the end, and then talking about all that stuff. Here is my TNT review for The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot has got to be the front runner for Best Animated Picture right now. It's got a gorgeous, groundbreaking animation style. The performances are packed with soul and heartbreaking emotion. Also, the story is a touching, powerful metaphor for parenting. That's going to appeal to the adult voters in the Academy. Now, you might be saying, what about Inside Out 2's chances at an Oscar? I definitely wouldn't count it out. Inside Out 2 does share a lot of the qualities that make The Wild Robot so wonderful, but I think Inside Out 2's similarity to the original might hurt it a little bit. And even though The Wild Robot's based on a novel, it feels fresh and new. Combine that with its late season release, and I think The Wild Robot will be raising more than a baby goose. It'll be raising an Oscars trophy. Now it's time for some truth from the youth, some opinions from the minions, and recs for what to watch next. Here's what our critics are watching and talking about. Sparky's talking Lion King today. Sparky thought it was good. Spoiler coming up, close your ears. Mufasa gets killed, very stirring. Simba wanted to be the king. The meerkat and warthog rescue Simba. It's a good movie because all this is so realistic. I agree, Sparky. Very realistic portrayal of nature and also a great, great movie, whether you're watching the original or the new one. Rambo's going to be talking about Madagascar. Rambo says, I think it's an amazing animated comedy. The characters are extremely smooth and they all have different personalities. The characters are all extremely likable and they have great, great comedy between them. You can't go wrong with Madagascar. Thank you, Rambo, for sharing. And finally, Meerkat's going to talk about The Loud House. This show is a pretty good show, and I love the big family and the problems they go through and how they solve them. I describe Lincoln as outgoing, smart, and the man with the plan. Overall, it's a great show for kids, and it helps you become a problem solver. Hey, not just fun, but helps you too. Can't go wrong with that. All right, that is it for Critic Lunch today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Have a great time watching stuff. Have an even better time talking about it. And don't forget to make every lunch a critic lunch.